This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, thank you to many of you guys who keep copying me in on this Twitter link, which I'll leave in the description box for you guys at the very bottom of it on the source, where you guys go watch it for yourself. It's about a minute long. Deontay Wilder gets interviewed by some camp guy. I don't know who he is. I've seen something on the background of it saying Los Angeles Fashion Week or something along those lines. So I'm not exactly sure what the event is, but it's something along those lines of fashion, I'm presuming. Anyway, the reporter says to Deontay Wilder, what will it take to make the Anthony Joshua fight? And Deontay Wilder was saying 50-50. And then he starts talking about how he didn't sign this $120 million because he didn't know how much Joshua was getting. Even though for quite some time, some of his fans have been reaching, well, you don't know if Anthony Joshua's in the contract. Maybe that's why Deontay Wilder turned it down. I mean, this is how much that these guys reach. This is why I don't understand why people follow some of these guys. I don't get it. They just pull out stories from their backside. So DAZN would offer Deontay Wilder $120 million to fight Dominic Breazeale, and then 2 voluntaries, whoever it is that you want, $120 million. Come on now. Now, so he says that he didn't know how much Joshua was getting. First of all, who cares, right? Joshua should be getting 75%. He owns 3 of the main 4 belts, plus the IBO on top of it, but you know what, we're not going to include that one. And he's the cash cow of the heavyweight division. He's the face of the heavyweight division. He sells out arenas, stadiums, all this kind of thing. Wilder has yet to sell out a single arena, let alone a stadium. Wilder's not pay-per-view, and he's got Tyson Fury in the other corner, which is why Deontay Wilder's next fight against Dominic Breazeale is not on pay-per-view. He's not a pay-per-view star. Deontay Wilder's resume is garbage. It was getting to the point where they were talking about 50-0 to try and beat Rocky Marciano's record. Well, you can't do that no more because you've got a draw on your record, a gifted draw. So how do you go from you and your fan base only a year ago, 6 months ago, were saying that Wilder should be offered a percentage, as in 30%. 35% it went up. 40% it went up. And now 50%. What happens? Joshua's going to offer you 50% and then you're going to demand 60%. How does this work out? It doesn't work out. Let's take a little example, shall we? Saul Canelo Alvarez, okay? I think we could all agree that, especially stateside, Mexico, Canada, America, etc., that Canelo is the face of boxing. He is the cash cow. When he fought Triple G, and let's look at the first time, okay? Canelo had no title. Triple G had 3 titles. But yet Triple G didn't get 50-50 with Canelo, even though he had 3 titles. Triple G got, was it 30% or something like that? 35% maybe? Because Canelo is the face of boxing. Canelo brings in the money. He brings in the audience. And Triple G is by far a bigger star, even in America, than what Deontay Wilder is. So flip that to Joshua. Joshua is not only the cash cow and the face of boxing like Canelo is, where he brings in all that money and all that attention, but Joshua also has the titles, which Canelo didn't have. But yet you've got this one guy who's never stepped up in Deontay Wilder, 41 fights, demanding 50-50. Yeah, for the longest time, he's saying it's not about money. Why do people keep talking to me about money? I'm financially secure. I'm happy. I've invested my money. I'm good. I don't care about money. This is about legacy. I just want undisputed. This is what he was saying. And now it's purely about money. Even his own fan base, they're just talking about money. Even though for the longest time, they're saying, why is it that Joshua fans keep talking about money? Well, that's all you guys talk about now, isn't it? Why? Because your boy, the guy who you wish to be the wife of, is talking about money. Because he didn't know how much Joshua was getting. Who cares how much Joshua was getting? Joshua should be getting at least 75%. Let's look at Joshua versus Joseph Parker. Joshua had 2 belts. Parker had 1. So they split it 3 ways. As in, Joshua got 2/3, Parker got 1/3. You see? So therefore, him versus Wilder should be 75%, 25%. That's how it should be. Excluding the fact that Joshua is the cash cow, Joshua sells out arenas and stadiums. Excluding the fact that Joshua, for his next fight against Miller, is actually traveling to America. So he's actually being a world champion. Wilder is not. Joshua is pay-per-view. Wilder is not, unless he had Tyson Fury in there. Tyson Fury, who got off the couch after 2.5 years of drug binging, alcohol abuse, mental issues, suicidal thoughts, got his boxing license removed, come back after 2.5 years after so much weight. He lost 140 pounds. That is the weight of Mikey Garcia. That is the weight of a Vasyl Lomachenko, maybe a bit more. He lost that weight, fought 2 taxi drivers, and then went to America and defeated Deontay Wilder handedly. So Wilder lost. So Wilder is currently a paper champion. So how do you go from asking for 30% and then maybe 40% to losing a fight, which you did, and needed the judges to award you a decision, a gifted draw, to then demand 50%? This is Shelly Finkel all over. Shelly Finkel don't want this fight. Shelly Finkel never believed in Deontay Wilder. He never did. That's why he turned down a potential fight with him and Vladimir Klitschko, even though Shelly Finkel manages both of these guys. He's still a baby, he's still a prospect. This is what Shelly Finkel said. He's not ready. Even though he had 33 fights, just won a WBC title. Yes, he had to wait for Vitaly Klitschko to retire before he made an assault on it. His fans talk about, well, it was a different era back then. Wilder didn't have the opportunities. He did have the opportunity. He had the opportunity to fight Vitaly Klitschko. He had the opportunity to fight Vladimir Klitschko. He never did. But the likes of Derek Chisora did. Manuel Chard did. His own countryman Bryant Jennings did. Tony Thompson did. David Haye moved up from cruiserweight and did. So why is it that Deontay Wilder never did? Because he's scared. He's always been scared. I mean, so much for the land of the brave. Come on now. Look at the lineage of American heavyweights. Fantastic legends. Muhammad Ali, Jack Johnson, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. I mean, the list goes on. Now Deontay Wilder. He will never be a legend. Ever. People just don't want him. The man wants to be pregnant. He actually wants to be pregnant. He said this with his own mouth. I want to be pregnant. He's not a cash cow. He just isn't. He has no attention. People talk about him now because of Joshua, because of Tyson Fury. That's why people talk about Deontay Wilder. Whenever they talk about Joshua is when he can be undisputed. Because Joshua is the one who's been around belt collecting. Why didn't Wilder do that? He could have fought Klitschko. He didn't. As I said, Shelly Finkel manages both Klitschko and Wilder. That fight was an easy fight to make. Didn't do it. Could have fought Charles Martin for the IBF title before Joshua did. Because they're both PBC fighters. But he didn't do it. He sent out a social media message to Joseph Parker that him and Joseph Parker should fight. Then offered Joseph Parker $2 million, which is pathetic, and said, I'm ready now. Forget about all these scrubs. You'll remember this video. Forget about all these scrubs. I'm ready now. Let's fight now. Let's fight at the end of the year. So it went from now, in the very same video, he went from fighting now to let's fight at the end of the year. Wilder's a joke, man. He's a joke champion. He really is. And now he's saying 50-50. And you people are on board with this. You're on board with this. Well, take a look at it this way. Okay, let's just say Errol Spence Jr. Let's just say he fights Terence Crawford next. He beats Terence Crawford. Then he goes and fights Keith Thurman. He beats Keith Thurman. So he owns 3 belts. He needs one more. He needs that WBC one that Sean Porter currently has. Sean Porter says, yeah, sure, we'll fight, but 50-50. What's your reaction going to be? What's your reaction going to be? See, don't be two-faced about it. Be fair. Be fair. Wilder's not worth 50-50. Wilder is worth 25% at an absolute maximum. 3 belts to 1. 3 belts to 1. Say it again. 3 belts to 1. And the WBC does not outweigh any of those. The WBA has more historical relevance than the WBC. It's the older one. It's the most lucrative one. And also, a belt is only as valuable as the one who holds it. This is pricing yourself out. And I'm pretty sure that Joshua and Eddie Hearn will probably cave in as well. I mean, where else is Wilder going to get offered a minimum $40 million for one fight? That $40 million is way more money than what him and Tyson Fury did combined. And all he's got to do is have one fight with Joshua. And then even if he gets smoothed down in the very first round, you get a rematch anyway. And I'm pretty sure if this fight ever does happen, the first fight will be in America, because Wilder is scared to death of travelling. I'm going to make a prediction right now. If, for example, Joshua vs. Wilder does happen, and the first fight does happen in America, and somehow, miraculously, Wilder lands a big right hand and knocks out Anthony Joshua and becomes undisputed champion, when it comes to activating the rematch, because the rematch will have to be in the UK, Wilder will vacate the belt and retire. Guarantee it. He don't want to travel. He's been conning all you fans, and you fans have been following him like blind sheep. But we know that a lot of the fan channels, they do this for your super chats because they rely on stupidity. They rely on you guys to not think for yourself. They rely on you guys to believe everything that they say. Listen, I have no issues of saying that Anthony Joshua is ducking Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua isn't offering enough money. I have no issue saying that. But the fact is, $40 million, who cares how much Anthony Joshua is getting? Wilder's getting $40 million, a guaranteed minimum $80 million for 2 fights with Anthony Joshua. 1 home, 1 away. 4 undisputed. And now he's come out at 50-50. The guy's a joke. He hasn't done anything to believe well deserve it. He's had double the fights of Joshua. Double. Never unified. It doesn't bring anything. He can't sell out any arena in anywhere in the world. He can't do it. But yet he wants 50-50, and some of you people are going to be fully in bed with it. Listen, you may not like Joshua, but just be realistic. Okay, just be realistic. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.